Hi, Gemma here, and this is what I plan to be a monthly video where I check in on my YouTube channel and discuss what has been going on with me and my business. Now, I put out a video, I think it was at the beginning of this month, where I discussed what had been going on, but that was actually recorded at the end of August, I believe. So it's been a couple of months between them and a lot has happened. I've felt really busy, which is a good thing. And yeah, I'm just going to be discussing that in this video. And I was actually thinking earlier today how it's only been 4 months since I left my 9 to 5, which seems so bizarre to me. I can't believe it's only been 4 months because it feels like so much has happened. And even in the space of 4 months, I feel like I've grown a lot, which has been great. Yeah, so let's get into it. So let's go back to late August when I last filmed that video. So just after that point, I actually hit a business milestone. I guess you would call it a business milestone. And it wasn't necessarily a good one. I was attempting to go to sleep and I was suddenly hit with something I would describe as utter panic. I suddenly felt that I'd made a mistake and there was no way I could do this. What an idiot I was. Why did I think I could do something that I actually liked and make money from it? Like, what an idiot I was. I was going to be unemployable forever. And I just had this like panic coming out and it just wasn't a fun experience. And when I finally got to sleep and wake up the next day, that feeling had passed. And actually later in that week, I started to feel more myself again, started to feel more comfortable. But that's something I've been experiencing throughout my time in my business so far. Like, not the utter panic, but definitely a sense of unease because it feels like nothing is happening at times. There could be maybe 2 weeks where I don't get a single sale and I think, what is happening? And then suddenly after that, I'll get several sales in the course of a week. And it just kind of is like that. It's like a little peak, flat, little peak, flat. And when I hit kind of the slow point of the month, I feel nervous. I think it's natural to feel nervous when you're not making any sales during that point of the month. And that's something I definitely need to get comfortable with. And I'll definitely be, I guess, video journaling what that experience is like. And even over the course of 4 months, I've started to get more comfortable as I've realized it's just something that is happening in my business at the minute. I think it's natural to feel nervous when you don't have the validation of years in business to know that it is going to be successful. Like, it's still so new to me, and yeah, it's just something I've got to get used to. Spoiler though, my business has grown every month since launching kind of full time, and October was actually my best month yet. I doubled my revenue from last month, which has been amazing. So that has definitely made me feel more validated in what I'm doing, and I hope to continue, obviously, like on a path of growth. When talking to other people and they've asked how it's going, I said sometimes I feel like it's going amazingly and other times I feel like I regret it. And after I say the phrase regret it, I kind of wince because that isn't actually what I mean. What I mean is that it's really uncomfortable. It's putting myself out of my comfort zone on a regular basis. Obviously, I don't have that secure income that I had beforehand, and it's all just new to me. So when I say I regret it, I don't actually mean I regret it. I mean, I occasionally enter states where I feel nervous, but I think that's completely normal for business, especially a brand new baby business like mine. Something I could say with absolute certainty at this point though is that I have no regrets. I definitely feel like I made the right decision jumping into this. I feel so much happier now than I did beforehand when I was in my 9 to 5. So I think I'm just excited to see where my business goes. It's already looking a bit different than I anticipated when I first launched my business. So yeah, I'm excited. And yes, although at times it is scary, I actually feel way more in control of my life than I did previously when I was in my 9 to 5. Moving on to a somewhat related topic, I had a friend say, "How's work going?" And I looked around because there was someone sat behind me, and I was like, who are you talking to? He was like, "You, Gemma. Who do you think I'm talking to?" And I felt kind of embarrassed that I'd reacted in that way. Like, surely he wasn't asking me how my work is going, because no one actually views my business as legitimate. And I realized like how much I have to grow in that sense, because when I first launched my business, people were very critical of my business, and it definitely, I guess, made me put a guard up about discussing my business with people outside of the calligraphy community. And I just assumed that people would talk negatively. But thank you to that person who genuinely, sincerely wanted to know how it was going. I can kind of pick up when people are asking like, "Oh, how's your little venture going?" Compared to saying, "Oh, how is everything going?" Like, I can kind of pick up when, yeah, people are asking me sincerely. And I think as my business grows, I'll start to feel more legit, and that will come with time. Like, I'll start to feel more comfortable talking about my business. But at the minute, anytime someone asks me how the business is going, my voice like goes up an octave, and I'm like, "It's going really well because of this and this and this." But I feel like I have to promote why it's going well, or it doesn't feel as organic a conversation. It feels like I have to prove why it's going well, even though it is. Now let's move on to routine. So something I touched upon in my last video was that I was ditching the idea of an ideal schedule. And I've definitely done that. I've ditched the idea of an ideal schedule, but what I was doing was far from ideal. I would wake up, look at stuff for my business, get dressed and everything, and then work on my business, and then eat dinner, and then work on my business, and fall asleep. Like, it was constant. I would work on my business nonstop, and particularly in the evenings, like time I would typically unwind, I was planning my business, because when I get stressed, I tend to plan. Like, that's my way of feeling more in control of things. I try to plan and plan and plan, even though it's not actually actively contributing to my business. So yeah, it was non-stop thinking about the business, and I was on the cusp of burnout. But this time I actually recognized it and was able to take a step back in time before I kind of, went downhill. So the last few weeks I've actually taken more time for myself. I have taken evenings off and weekends off, and I've been feeling so much more refreshed and just better in general. Something that's also helped me feel more in control is organizing in a different way. So previously I was using Trello for like the day-to-day organization, but when I completed a task, I would archive it. So when someone asked me at the end of the week, "Oh, what have you been up to?" I would genuinely, like, nothing would come to mind. I would forget everything I'd done during the week. Whereas now I've moved back to a paper planning format, so that if I'm unsure, I can revert back and go, "Oh yeah, I did this, and this," so that I actually feel like I am doing something with my time and it's not just disappearing on me. But what have I actually been up to the last couple of months? Well, I've launched my first course, which has been such a learning curve. There was so much more than I realized needed to be done, and I have definitely learned a lot in doing it. And I might actually create a separate video on that experience, so if you're interested, consider subscribing. But that has definitely taken up a huge chunk of my time. And then I guess when I do have free time, I'm considering more passive options of income. So I've been looking at adding things like workbooks to my website. This last month, I have been really pushed out of my comfort zone. I've had to do lots of kind of logistical type of tasks, which I really dislike. But now that I've kind of pushed myself and gone through that stage of uncomfortableness, I now have a foundation so that when I approach tasks like that again, I have, yeah, that foundation readily built rather than starting from scratch each time. So it was uncomfortable in the short term, but long term, I think it's going to set me up for success. So we'll see. So what have I got coming up or plan to do for the month or two ahead? Well, I plan on just fulfilling what I've already got going on, really. So the course will actually be run throughout November. I have several workshops planned, and I think just on a personal perspective, I just want to enjoy things going on in my life a bit more. I definitely have a few events coming up in my personal life. So I think just taking a time to take a breather from everything and enjoy those things will be really rewarding. So yeah, that's everything for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye for now.